What's up, y'all? This is Emmanuel live at Fox 29, Philly Goes to College. We just had an amazing segment with a special gentleman. I don't want to say his name yet. I want him to introduce himself. But we had such an amazing conversation, invited us on, and just a great time. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to flip the roles and ask him a few questions, the same way he asked me a few questions. And we're going to go from there. But without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? Let everyone know who you are, what you do. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So if I ask you questions, you get to ask me questions. Hey, it's good to see you guys. I'm meteorologist Drew Anderson right here at Fox 29. It was great having you on my show today.
Thank you for having us.
What do you got for me?
So, this is a part of a segment we have on our platform called From Now to the Future. We ask you a few questions about yourself, about your journey to get here. So, first question I'm going to ask you was, how did you get here? How did you become a meteorologist? Tell us the pathway. Like, where'd you go to school? What did you major in, and how did it land you here?
Listen, it just takes one person. That's what it's about. It just takes one person to just nurture something, all right? So here's what was going on. When I was a kid, I was just into movies and TV. Like, what kid isn't, right? And I just really got into this morning show they were putting on right here on Fox 29. As a kid, I was watching all the time. I was probably talking about it all the time to my parents. Who knows what you say when you're in third grade? Well, Mom saw my interest, and she encouraged those interests. So when Good Day Philadelphia went on the road, they took the whole show and the whole crew on the road back in like 1997. My mom took me out of school down to the shore. I think I had a doctor's appointment that day. I don't know who she talked.
Statutes of limitation.
Yeah, listen, I'm already graduated. They're not catching me at this point. So I don't know who she talked to, but the next thing I know, I'm doing the weather as a kid. This high next to the weather guy, and then from there he became a family friend. And weather was always in the back of my head for down the road. And it just took that one experience and one person, kind of encouraging something I thought was cool. And look where it brought me today.
Wow. So from a young kid, you already knew I'm going to be a meteorologist.
Well, it was one of those things where when college came, I had no better idea in my head. I'm like, sun, clouds, how hard can it be? It was like one of those things. It was just something that I liked. And it was just in my head from that experience I had in third grade. Fast forward 10 years later. And I was like, I'm going to go to school for weather from that one little experience. You never know about how one thing can make a big difference in your life. And exposure. That one thing did.
Yeah, that's amazing. Where'd you go to school?
Penn State.
Penn State. And you majored in?
Meteorology, weather.
For a student out there watching this that is like, man, I want to be on TV doing the weather. They do have to have a degree in meteorology, right?
Well, yeah, it can help. And let's say you can't handle the math or science. There's always different paths. For example, Penn State, they have this program where they have 4 classes and you get a weather certificate and they're not math-based. They're not physics-based. And that's an avenue. I tell people, okay, if you want to be on TV, you can't get through the calculus to get to these meteorology classes. Major in communications, take those 4 classes, and it's not just Penn State, other schools, like Mississippi State have them. You take some of these classes, and once you get a certificate, you can call yourself a meteorologist on TV. So all I'm saying is, if you hit a roadblock, there's ways around things. Don't give up on something just because something's not working out. You know what? There's a detour. You just want to go out of your way for it.
Right. So what made you choose Penn State out of all the schools you could go to?
You know what? I had no better idea. My dad wanted me to go to like some Ivy League school. I was like, that wasn't happening. I went to this school. I toured around. I'm like, yeah, this place isn't. This ain't happening. This ain't for me. So I didn't apply to anywhere else except for Penn State.
Which one? You went to main campus?
Went to main campus. I did like a summer session at the local campus here, which is cool because I teach there now. So I mean, that's full circle. I've been teaching college classes for a decade now because I love giving back and I just like teaching. And the weather, basically, I'm being a teacher because I'm letting you guys know what the weather is. A teacher shares things with you. It's the same idea.
Same thing, little different audience, but yeah.
Yeah, I got to make sure I'm keeping the college kids up. I just got to bring my energy up a little more. And I got a lot of energy to begin with.
More coffee.
It's true.
All right, so what's one thing that surprised you, or that you didn't expect, jumping into meteorology and even being on the TV? And it's something for a student who's looking at this and is like, I really want to do this, but maybe like a little bit myth busting, or just something that altogether just was like, yo, this is so cool. I didn't know this.
I'll tell you this, and it's really simple. You go to school, both at Penn State when they were heavy hitting the science terms. It was this after this after this, or even I remember being in English class and you're trying to put in these SAT words and sound all smart. I learned from doing this. The more everyday talk you can have, that's what matters. Don't put all these smart sounding words in a college paper or an essay you're writing. Just write how we talk. Don't write ahs and ums in the paper, but I'm just saying, just be conversational. We don't need this dry language. And that's one of the things I learned on TV. Coming out of college, I thought I needed to talk about this area of high pressure out here in the West, bring it into sunny skies, that area of high pressure will track this way. Who cares? How about I go, hey, you see all those sunny skies out over in the west? That's heading our way. So we got sunshine across the board in the 7-day. You know what I mean? Sunny skies, it's coming here. Or big area of high pressure, bringing the sunshine there. That high pressure comes here to bring the sunshine. When you put in jargon, when you put in words and all that sort of stuff, your message gets lost. It's better communication when you just say, this is what's going on, and then here it comes. And it goes back to paper. You don't need these fancy words. Just write how we talk. And that's really one of the things I picked up over the years, especially with teaching college kids. Man, can I tell you, when eyes glaze over faster is when I start dropping science words. And you can be sciencey without dropping this stuff. There's just ways to approach things. And it just taught me, just be conversational. Like, I always think about, is it interesting to my mom? Like, would my mom at home understand? You know, I love Mama Anderson. She doesn't know the science stuff, but can I tell it in a way that she would understand? Or can I make an analogy that she'd get it? She always calls me and tells me when she's getting freezing rain, because sleet to her is freezing rain. When she hears the pellets, you know, she hears the pellets just like that in the window, that's freezing rain to her. No matter how many times I say, no, Mom, that's sleet. That's okay. I know when she calls me, she's like, I got freezing rain in my house. She's getting sleep. So it's like one of those things. It's like you got to meet people where they're at.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And, you know, don't try to be someone you're not. Just be yourself and talk like yourself. Don't try to sound smart. It's that simple.
So for a student watching this, they should know, like, being yourself is the key.
That's what it's about.
I think that's the key in life, period. You know what I mean? Just being yourself, being authentically who you are, and then depending on your career or profession, being yourself will open certain doors for you. May close from certain doors too, but doesn't stop you from just being yourself.
Hey, if it closes the doors, you don't need to be there. That's why there's more doors on a block.
Exactly.
It's the truth.
Yeah. So all right. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up around here, Philly area, out in Westchester, Chester County.
Got you.
I'm a local boy.
Okay. Local to the area. Went to Penn State.
Yep.
Did the meteorology thing. You're now here working at Fox 29. How long have you been with Fox 29?
Been here about 4 years. With anything, man, it takes you long to get somewhere. It's awesome working at Fox 29. It's great being here in Philly.
Yeah.
I had to work in Harrisburg for a couple years, Scranton, Allentown. I was doing all those commutes. You keep putting out effort, your effort gets rewarded down the line. I mean, this is the shortest drive I had. I'm just thankful to have a shorter drive. When I come in the morning and there's no one on the Schuylkill, 30, 35 minutes. Man, that's a joy for me, because when I worked in Harrisburg,
it's a blessing.
That was an hour and a half drive. So I'm just thankful to have a short drive. That's like the biggest thing of working here. I'm like, all right, this is the closest station to my house.
Wait, so the whole time so at Harrisburg, you was on Fox?
Well, no, it was a different station. I worked at some TV stations. I worked at Channel 8 in Lancaster. I worked at the York TV station. They're all the same area, but I would make that commute. I would drive an hour and a half out there and back. Did that for years, many years.
So for someone watching this, if you can just give them one or two gems, things they should consider if they wanted to. You kind of said it, but like, even like your journey, you can't just be like, wake up and be like, yo, I want to be on the TV. I want to be on Fox 29. Certain things you got to do to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could you just drop one or two gems that kind of help guide you this way?
You just got to put that effort out, right? You got to do stuff. You got to be all in on something. That goes back to when you do something that's your passion. It's cool. Right. And I'm a grinder, man. I got a couple jobs. So listen, I love working here. It's fun playing with the touch screen, showing your site. I also teach college classes. And then on my days off, I like teaching. I'll go substitute teach at a local school. For one, that's gas money for me, or beer money if I'm feeling it that week. And, I just appreciate that there's always opportunities. Like, I talked to a friend of mine who needed some extra money. I'm like, well, go be a substitute teacher. As long as you got a college degree, you can be a sub. And I feel like no matter what situation you're in, there's always opportunities. You need some more cash? There's some easy job that'll work for you that would make sense. And it's just finding those opportunities. And that's why it's great to have guys like you, because, you don't know about these opportunities until someone tells you. You don't hear about it. You don't know what you don't know. But when someone says, hey, why don't you think about that? Or, hey, go to this website right here. We can help you with applying for college. We got these resources. Man, it makes a world of difference.
Word. That makes a lot of sense. Boom. Quick fire questions. One, what was your favorite college memory?
It was the camaraderie. Right? It's the friends and stuff. You get to goof off more. And then once you're gone, man, it's busy. I have so much trouble just catching up with my friends. We all have hard schedules. At that time, everyone's around. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, what are you up to tonight? That's the best part about college is not only that community, and it goes two ways. Yeah, the fun and the partying, but also school. College is tough, so you get to work together on your homework together. That was huge. That was the thing I wasn't used to going to college. I was just doing everything myself. I was an only child. Going to college, I went, oh, these homeworks in science are tough. I need to work with other people. I got to get brainiacs in my group. By working together, you're smarter as a group. And that's what I appreciate about college.
So the community.
Yeah, just being working with other people, hanging out with other people. It makes a big difference.
Word. All right. And then if you could say one thing to your high school self, what would that be?
All right, the acne's going away, so you're good. You won't need the makeup. You're good. You know what I would say? I would say, man, you just gotta keep grinding. Keep grinding, and just keep working at things, and things all fall into place. You don't know when it's gonna fall into place. You don't know if it'll ever fall into place. You gotta keep buying stuff. You just gotta keep grinding. You know what? Things will work out.
That's perfect. That was so perfect. Thank you, Drew.
Hey,
appreciate you.
Thanks for coming down. This was fun having you right there in the weather center.
Right there in the mix. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Drew.